guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. I actually posted this same video last year and it was one of my very first reading vlogs that I ever filmed whenever I started doing like book content on this channel. And you guys really loved it a lot last year and I just feel like it's very fun to read these types of books for the summer season. So we're doing it again this year. If you haven't checked out last year's video, go ahead and check it out. But we're doing reading summer books again. And I'm so excited. I have 3 books picked out that I have been wanting to read for quite some time. They're all romances. They're all perfect to read in the summer. They give off the perfect summer feeling, summer vibes. And I may or may not have read a 5-star in this video. So I'm really excited to talk about that book with you guys. These are going to be the perfect books to read at the beach, at the pool, just if you want to binge a book on a summer day, these are going to be the books for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the video. The first book that we read in this video is going to be Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. I read Meet Me at the Lake by her last year in the last year's video that I did. So if you want to see all of my thoughts on Meet Me at the Lake, the second book that she came out with, then go ahead and watch that video. This was her debut novel before Meet Me at the Lake, but I've been wanting to read this one for a while because Every Summer After is one of those books that people just like absolutely love or they just like don't like. So I'm really interested to see my thoughts on it, and yeah, let's go ahead and see what my thoughts are going to be on Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. A little update on Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. I am on page 130, so I'm almost like halfway through. This has been such an easy and bingeable read. If you're looking for like a beach read, highly recommend. Like, you could probably read this in one day. You also might be questioning, you're like, Katie, you're literally in like a sweatshirt, and I'm also wearing like sweatpants. Why are you reading summer books? Like, why is this a summer reading book? This isn't giving off summer vibes. You know, we were gonna read outside today. We were, okay? And it was gonna be a lovely, wonderful, magical day. We were gonna read in the sun. It was gonna be so nice. And then it rained. So right now, the summer aspect of this reading vlog is wishful thinking, and hopefully by the end, it will just be what we're living. This book is a then and now timeline, and it's this girl's perspective. Her name is Persephone. She goes by like Percy, and her parents buy a beach house for the summer, and so she goes there every single summer and like kind of like vacations there too sometimes, like during like Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that kind of stuff. And she ends up being next door neighbors with these 2 boys named Charlie and Sam, and Sam specifically is her age, and she meets him. They kind of hit it off and they become friends, and because they don't go to like the same school and stuff like that, they really only see each other during their summers and like breaks from school. So the then and now is obviously like now, present day, whenever she's a lot older. I believe she's in like her 30s or about to be there, but she's definitely like an adult. And then the back then is basically them going from explaining every single summer or every single moment that they really like spent together. It's very cute. It's very nice. It gives me like nostalgic summer feelings, like wishing for those summers that I had whenever I was a kid. I do have to say, this is very similar to 2 other books, and I've heard other people say this too. I wasn't sure exactly how similar it would be because obviously I hadn't read it yet, but it's very similar to The Summer I Turned Pretty and Love in Other Words. Like, if you mix those 2 together, it would probably create something like this book. Do I think it's too similar to the point that it's like ruining the experience of reading this book? No. I think I might enjoy this book a little bit more, definitely more than The Summer I Turned Pretty books, because those really are not my favorite. I'm not sure if I like it more than Love in Other Words yet. Love in Other Words wasn't like a favorite for me. Like, I enjoyed it. It was good, but I'm just really loving this. I read Meet Me by the Lake. I think that's what it's called. That was her release last year. Did not enjoy that one very much, but it was also so fast and like such a quick paced read because her writing is just so fast paced. Like I said, like you could literally sit on the beach and probably binge this in one entire day if you wanted to, and I feel like that's the thing that everybody's looking for in a like summery beachy read. And again, the vibes are just like immaculate. Like, I don't know if I'm like corny or cheesy or anything, but like whenever you think summer, like I just think about like a book like this, like the descriptions and stuff like that. I just think of a book like this. That's really it. I do have to say though, I think I like the then timeline a little bit more. I don't really feel connected to Percy as much like in the now timeline quite yet, because the then timelines are very long. Like the chapters in general are pretty long. They do have nice like page breaks and stuff like that. So I think I'm reading this a lot faster because there's a lot of page breaks. So like it almost feels like there's like more places to stop and pick up whenever I'm like, oh, like a one page until like a page break. Like, I could read that. And then I see that it's only like 2 pages until the next one. So I just keep on reading and reading and reading. So honestly, I'm not really sure if the long chapters have like a huge effect on me not wanting to read this book. I think it does have a huge effect on me not feeling connected to the now timeline, because the then timeline is just like so much longer. I think those chapters are like 30-ish pages long, which is kind of wild. And this book is only like 300 pages, I think. Exactly 300 pages without the epilogue, but with it, it's like 304. So I just know I'm gonna zip through this book. I'm also reading this while I'm doing the tandem read for Throne of Glass. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna do a reading vlog of this book, but I figured, I was like, might as well. I have some other summary books that I want to read and recommend to you guys, and this is on the TBR for the month, so I wanted to get through it. But I really wanted to focus on the tandem read, and I was just kind of realizing, like, you know, sometimes like before bed, like I cannot handle the tandem read. Like the sheer size of that, overwhelming. The things that happen in it, overwhelming. And this has been the perfect before bed book too, because it's just such an easy read. It's so refreshing, especially from the tandem read. Not that I'm not enjoying that, because I'm loving it and eating it up, but it's just so much that like before bed specifically, I can't really like read something like that. As of the plot though, I feel like in the now timeline, we don't really have that much going on quite yet. So let's go ahead and keep reading and I guess see what happens. No, I simply am so confused with this book right now. Okay, I have like 30 pages left. I'm on page 276 and like I simply don't understand why the plot is going this way. It kind of came out of left field. Like now that I think about it, the thing that kind of happened, I was like, can I see that? Like, does this make sense? And I'm like, no. Genuinely, it doesn't. It's one of my least favorite tropes. It just feels super unnecessary. And honestly, like, I was enjoying the first half of this book so much. Now I'm just like so disappointed. The thing that sucks even more too is that I love Carley Fortune's writing. It's so easy and like quick to read, and it's good. It's good writing. It's just the stories, every single one that I've read by her, I just like, I just cannot get behind. Like they start off so good, and then as it goes on and on, I'm just like, this is so frustrating. What is going on in this book? I have finished Every Summer After by Carley Fortune, and not gonna lie, as you guys saw, I was enjoying this book so much, and then we got to like the last 50-ish pages. Literally what happened? I could not tell you. It was too much. One of my least favorite tropes, that's for sure, and it was done in such an icky way. No. I don't know if I'm going to be reading her new book that comes out. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll listen to it on audiobook or something if I just don't have anything else to listen to. I put it in for like a request on it for Libby, so who knows? Maybe I will be listening to that this summer or something. I was just so disappointed. I really enjoy her writing. Her writing is so fast-paced, so easy to read, and kind of just like effortless. I just really enjoy it. It's very bingeable, very easy to go through, like I've been saying, but the stories that she writes, kind of like what I said about Mimi at the like last year, like the stories that she writes, I don't understand. Her books can literally be 5-star reads for me if the stories themselves weren't what they are, because the writing is so good. And it just sucks because I really enjoyed these characters, and now I'm just so conflicted on what to rate it. And literally at the beginning, because of the writing, because of me feeling connection to the characters and all of that kind of stuff, and the summary atmosphere, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Like, this is so cute, 5-star. And then I got to the end, I'm like, absolutely not. Like, what happened? And that's how I felt with Mimi at the like 2, and I don't know. I just don't know if I can read any more of her books. I don't know. I'm like really disappointed, to be completely honest. So yeah, have zero idea what I'm ever in this one. But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and start our next book before I talk to you guys, because I needed a little bit of time to sit with my thoughts a little bit more. I'm probably gonna need a little bit more time, and by that I mean a lot more time to think about the rating, which is fine because we have 2 more books to read. So I picked up Heartless by Elsie Silver. As you guys saw, this is the 2nd book in the Chestnut Spring series. I read Flawless last month, and like Carly Fortune, I enjoy Elsie Silver's writing, but I also enjoy the stories themselves. This one is about Cade and Willa and their dual POV, and she is his nanny, and he's a single dad. Okay, so I'm enjoying it very much. And besides that, it's just giving cowboy, and I love that, and that's basically the whole premise of this book so far, at least that I can figure out. There's also a 13-year age gap. Don't know how I feel about that. Don't know if I really care, to be completely honest. And obviously this isn't like trademark summer book, you know, but I thought cowboy kind of gave summer for some odd reason. So we're gonna be spending time on the little Wishing Well Ranch for this part of the video, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I'm up to page 206 in Heartless by Elsie Silver, and honestly, I'm like really enjoying this. I really liked the first one, Flawless, like really enjoyed that. I think I rated it like a 4 or 4.25. I think I'm liking this one a little bit more though. And normally I'm not all for like the Grumpy Sunshine trope, but I don't know, Cade? He does it for me, okay? In all seriousness though, I am enjoying Cade as a character. I really like him. I like how there's a reasoning for the grumpiness and the reasoning for a heart exterior. Sometimes in other books, whenever it's Grumpy Sunshine, it's just not my favorite because I feel like the reasoning for the heart exterior is just unjustified. And I'm just kind of like, oh, so you're just like grumpy for what? No reason. So I like that he's got a little bit of depth to him, and I really like Willa as a character too. I find myself relating to her a lot. She seems like she just has so much personality and spunk, and I don't know, I just really like her. I like how she's kind of sassy. She just, I don't know, like sometimes in romance books people can feel so, what's the word I'm looking for, almost like lifeless, you know, like they just don't seem real or realistic at all. But for some reason Willa and Cade just, they feel real to me, and I love it in romance books whenever the characters feel real. A lot of my favorite romance books have like real characters with real qualities, so then it feels more realistic. I just like a real story. I feel like I've said this in so many videos, but I like a real story. And I'm not gonna lie, there are some very cringy parts to this book, but I find myself more or less kind of just looking over that just because I am enjoying the storyline and the plot line. There was actually a few very cute moments from like the last 50-ish pages that I've read. There's a little sick trope moment where he takes care of her. Yeah, that had me folding for him right then and there. And I'm only halfway through the book, so I just don't even know what else is gonna happen to make me fall more in love with this man. And also the love that Willa has for his son Luke. Can I just say, Luke is so cute in this book too. He just seemed like such a cute and sweet little kid, and the way that Willa interacts with him, like she literally treats him like he is her own, and I just think that is so precious. Like they just have such a deep connection, and Luke literally is so obsessed with Willa. Like he just loves her. And every time that Cade talks about an interaction between Willa and Luke and him like seeing it from the outside or just like watching it happen, whatever, it's just so cute how he views that and how like it makes him even more attracted to her. It's just so adorable. And I'm also just loving being able to see moments with Summer. She was the main character in Flawless, or one of them. It was her and Rhett. I love being able to see her in this book because it just adds to the part where it like makes you feel connected to the town. It almost gives you like TV show series vibes because you get to reconnect with those characters and you already know them. So it just like adds to the validity of this story and making it feel even more real and authentic. I feel like a lot of time that's what interconnected standalones are trying to do, and I truly have not felt that with a lot of interconnected standalones. And I feel like this is the first one I'm like really feeling that with, and I can already feel these characters being like super like comforting and just like, I don't know, like I could just binge her books all day long. Like the writing is just so easy and effortless, and I just connect to these characters so much. It's just such a wholesome, well maybe not wholesome, is not the best word for it. They're a little spicy, okay? Or at least it talks about the spice. But yeah, I don't know, I really love this world and these books, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the books. I'd actually love to try and finish this tonight. I think it is like 400 pages. It's like 410 with the bonus. epilogue. And like I said, I'm on 207, so that's about 200 pages-ish, but these books just go so fast and quick, so I don't know, maybe it will be possible, we'll see. This has been my before bed book though, because I'm actually really trying to focus on the tandem read from Throne of Glass right now. But once I just get so far into like my before bed, like silly little romance, I just have to like binge that and finish it and then go back to the tandem read, which honestly, I've been really enjoying doing that because it gives me a little bit of everything. I can read the fantasy when I'm in the fantasy mood, and I can read the romance when I'm in the romance mood, or whatever story I'm feeling more, you know what I mean? Like where we're at in the story, I can just pick that up and want to read that, because I am filming like 2 different reading vlogs at once right now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited to binge this tonight and just continue reading. I don't have anything else to do, and it's only 7 o'clock, so who knows? Maybe I'll finish this tonight. Okay, I finished Heartless by Elsie Silver. Can I just say, I've only read 2 books by her, but everything that I've read so far has just been so effortlessly easy to read. Like, I just find myself flying. Like, this is a perfect before bed book. This one is a little bit spicier than the first one, I do have to say. Not that I like dislike that or anything. I feel like I have very neutral feelings towards spice right now, but I really did like Willa, and I really did like it. Okay, the Grumpy and the Sunshine was working for me today. Sometimes it doesn't, but it worked in this book. Okay, it worked. Luke, Cade's son too, had my heart melting. There were so many scenes of them, like you could just see like Willa becoming one of them, and the love that like Luke had for Willa and Willa had for Luke, like outside of Cade, melting my heart. The third act of it all that normally happens in a romance book wasn't that crazy. It felt kind of realistic to me. Do I think this book dragged out just a little bit? Yeah, but I didn't mind it because I love being in this world. Again, the epilogues, you know, just specifically the bonus scenes, which I know I don't have to read, but they're kind of funny. Like, I just love this family. Like, the more I read the Chestnut Spring series, I just find myself absolutely loving this family. I feel like this gives good summer vibes just because like it is the summer in this book, and also just like yeehaw, you know what I mean? Like, yeehaw always gives me summer vibes because like the South, and you know what I mean? Like, you just think of like a hot like tan cowboy like smelling like mahogany teak wood, or like Abercrombie, you know? And I just really enjoyed it and flew through it, and I cannot wait to devour the rest of the series. I did briefly start our next book, but I'm only like a little bit in, so it's nothing crazy, but I do know the gist about it, so I will explain it to you once I tell you what the book is. The way I'm so excited to read this, and I'm already flying through it because I feel like Abby Jimenez has cracks. Cracks? No, just one crack. I feel like Abby Jimenez has crack in her books, and it is just for the summer, but Abby Jimenez, stunning. Okay, stunning. I've read 2 books by her. I've read Part of Your World, which wasn't my favorite, but then I read Yours Truly. 5-star, baby. She's literally right there. She's a 5-star. Jacob and Brienne, that book just absolutely melted my heart. And this is actually another one in the interconnected standalones, which I didn't know before I picked it up. And then I realized that some of the names and attributes of characters were the same. And I was like, oh, I think it's connected. And it is. So this is the 3rd one in that little interconnected loan. That's not a word. I don't know what's wrong with me. I had an energy drink today, so please bear with me. So this is the 3rd one in that little interconnected standalone world, and it's dual POV. This one is about Justin and Emma. They basically both have these like dating curses to where they're with somebody for a little bit of time, and then they break up, and then after that, the person that they were dating finds their soulmate. And they actually ended up connecting through a Reddit thread, and they decide that it makes sense for them to try and date to cancel each other's curses out, so hopefully they can both go on to find their soulmates. I'm already like flying through this. I love being back with Abby Jimenez's writing. I think that the more she writes, just the better and better she gets, and I have just, I don't know, I'm just eating it up. I also just love the way that my ribbon looks as the bookmark, and it like matches with everything too. I think it's so cute. But I'm really excited to get more into this, and I just know I'm gonna have so many thoughts. So I'm actually gonna go to a coffee shop because I'm meeting my sister there tonight because we're doing something together. But I think I'm gonna go a little bit early to read for a little bit, so to finish this, or at least almost finish it, because I'm already to page 276. I have literally been reading so much today because I can't put it down. Like, there's just so many plot points and things happening and just things that I want to read about. Like, I think this is gonna be a 5-star. It's giving me that giddy feeling that I want from a romance, where the couple themselves are like giving me butterflies, like the way that they talk to each other, and just like, it's the way that you want to feel whenever you're in love. That's kind of what I'm feeling right. Why is the lighting going from like warm to cool? It is kind of dark in here, but I'm about to go outside and finish the book, so we're just not gonna pay attention to that right now. The main character, Justin, in this book has my heart melted. Honestly, he might be my favorite book boyfriend almost ever. He's funny, he's just super nice. He goes out of his way to make Emma feel loved and cared for in a way that she's never really been able to experience, just because of like her relationship with her family and kind of like what she went through growing up. And he's just so into her, and like low-key probably in love with her, you know, like he's just so into her. And she, again, didn't really have a good upbringing, didn't really have like a good connection with a lot of people, so she doesn't really know like how to love or to like accept love in her life. She's also a traveling nurse, so she like goes around to a lot of different places a lot of the time, and I don't know, like my heart just like breaks for her. I actually just finished reading the scene, and I don't think I'm done with it. I think I'm like just at the end of the scene, but it was just like super heartbreaking. Like, you were just going through Emma's thoughts and like what she was going through, and she just felt so alone. And like, I don't know, like I have cried multiple times during this book for several different reasons. And let me just say that this is not some silly fun summer romance. This is so much more than that. But the writing is just like, I don't want to put it down. I say that about a lot of books, but this is giving me the 5-star feelings of like yeah, like I could read this for a while, you know what I mean? Like, that's like a 4-star. Like, I could read this for a while, you know, I don't have to put it down. But like, this is giving me like obsessed. Like, I must know what happens next. Like, I'm rooting for them. I want them to be together. I don't know, I love Emma and Justin, and I just cannot get over him. Their life situations, especially Justin's, are just like, you know, I don't know how else to describe it without giving anything away, but he's just going through so much, and him and his family, and he's just such like a good person. Like, he's just such a good person. And I find it funny because obviously they met through like a Reddit thread talking about like their curses and stuff like that, and that's how all of this came to be, but it just completely changed into something totally different. And I was kind of worried at first about the whole Reddit thing, about it being kind of like, not like cheesy, but kind of just like, meh, like really, like they met through Reddit type of thing. Like, this is probably just not gonna be like the best plot or whatever for the book, because it's just gonna talk about Reddit a lot. But it doesn't. It talks about Reddit in a tasteful amount, and there's even like little nod backs to that. And I don't know, I'm just really glad that that wasn't like the whole thing. I guess I didn't want it to be like cheesy and like awkward and like weird about that, but it hasn't been. But who would have thought that from a Reddit thread we'd get to hear possibly a 5-star read? I think this is gonna dethrone yours truly. Although, I don't know, I'm not even done with it yet, so I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go sit outside. It's finally nice enough to go read outside today, and I don't know if I'll finish it today, just because I do have plans tonight, and it's currently like 3 o'clock, but I really want to try and finish it, because I don't know, I just want to read it until I need to be done reading to actually do things that humans need to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. Guys, I absolutely love this book. I devoured it. There was so many times where I just wanted to be reading it. This was also another before bed book for me, and every night that I was just reading, like, I just couldn't put it down. I just wanted to read more and more and more. It got to the point where I was like losing sleep over the book, and that's how you know it's good. Emma and Justin are literally meant for each other. This is not some silly little romance book that is just all fluff and romance and all that kind of stuff. Love those. This is not it. If you go into this looking at the cover, you're like, oh my gosh, perfect summer vibes, which it does have. It does have good summer vibes. But if you're just expecting some like lighthearted, like cheesy little rom-com, this is not it. In my opinion, this was the perfect balance of real and raw and fun and just a perfect romance. I loved this book. I loved it. I genuinely think Abby Jimenez is becoming one of my favorite authors. The way I swoon over her men, like I don't know. I do have to say the ending was not what I was expecting, in all honesty, but I did kind of enjoy it because it proved that in order to be in a relationship and be there for other people, you really have to work on yourself and be your best self. And I think that's like a really important message in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this book without just like saying the same thing over and over again, saying that I love it and I'm gushing over it. So we're gonna put it down and we're gonna go ahead and do the reading wrap up for this video. Starting out with the first book we read, which was Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. I really enjoyed the first half of this book. Like I said, her writing is just super easy to go through, super effortless, just very easy to read writing that you can binge on a beach, which is what we want of a summer read, right? Same thing that I felt about Meet Me at the Lake too. So her writing is great, she has that. But for me, in my opinion, from both the books that I've read, they start out super great. I'm liking it. I think I like this one a little bit more than Meet Me at the Lake. Starting out and as we were going on, just like felt more connected to the characters at least, and like enjoyed the characters a lot more and like the plot and the storyline in my opinion. But then we get like halfway through and then I'm like, am I enjoying this? And then we get to like the last third of the book and then something just like totally unnecessary happens and it just, I don't know, like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I just don't enjoy that in books. So I don't know, I'm very conflicted with this. I think I'm gonna rate this like a 2.75. honestly, which is so sad because I was really enjoying it and then it just it like ruined the book for me. The ending ruined the book for me. Like I said earlier, this is a then and now timeline, but this is one of those books where they stop talking and in the now timeline they're like thinking about each other and stuff like that and they're seeing each other again and then you're wondering why all these years they stopped talking and then you figure out the reason and then it's like, what? You did what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with a 2.75. I don't think I would really recommend this unless you wanted a fast-paced summer read. Other than that, it just, I don't know, maybe a 3. I don't know. Next up, I read Heartless by Elsie Silver. I really enjoyed this book. It's dual POV. Kate and Willow are just the cutest little couple. This one does have quite a bit of spice. I feel like the writing was super good. Again, I love Elsie Silver's writing. And I loved Kate's son, Luke. And I'm not normally a Grumpy Sunshine person, like I said at the beginning, but this did it for me. I really enjoyed this. I think I'm gonna rate this a 4.25. I think it dragged on a little bit at the end for me, but I did really love this story and this cute little family, and I'm just like loving this series so much. I'm eating it up and I cannot wait to read the rest of it. And then we have Abby Jimenez Just for the Summer, which I just talked about, so I'm not gonna say too much on it other than my rating, which is a 5-star. Yeah. I love this book. I literally devoured it, ate it up. Check trigger warnings, which she talks about at the very beginning. So they're in there if you need to check them. I definitely recommend doing that because I could see how this could be triggering for some people, but wow. So yeah, I'm really happy about this book. Okay, those are all 3 of the books that we read in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. If you have any thoughts on these books, feel free to comment them down below. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments. And always remember that these are my opinions. So if you loved a book that I didn't like, that is 1000% okay. Reading is so personal from person to person. In saying that though, leave your comments down below. We can talk about it down there. And if you have any other books that you want me to read and reading vlogs, anything like that, any video ideas, we'll just chat about it down in the comments down below. Also, go ahead and comment the little book stack emoji if you watch until the end so I know who the real ones are. And if you want to keep up with me on the daily, go ahead and follow my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Goodreads. Especially my Goodreads if you want to keep up with what I'm reading in real time. And I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed the books we read. Hope you're having an amazing day or week or month or year or whatever. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Oh. Okay. Hello. Is it still the 21st century? We found a 5-star read. Let's go.